The laws of cheese and mustard are clear, folks. They always have been. There has never been confusion about such laws. So why is it that these days I see people questioning such laws? Why is it that in the last 6 months I've seen an uptick in people questioning the laws of cheese and mustard? Cheese and mustard. You may think they are a thing that do not go together, or maybe you think they're a thing that does go together. But that does not matter. It does not matter whether the cheese or the mustard go together. That is irrelevant in the laws of cheese and mustard. The laws of cheese and mustard dictate several things to humanity. Rules and laws that must be abided by. First, when you see a pigeon in the street, does it say hello to you? If the answer is yes, you have permission to take that pigeon by the throat and take it to the top of the tallest building you can find. When you get to the top, you clip its wings, you attach a little weight around its ankle, and you throw it off. That is the way of the world. If the pigeon does not say a thing to you, then you are only allowed to chase it. You're not allowed to harm it. You can pretend you're going to harm it, but you're not allowed to. And that is just but one rule. That is a rule that I thought everyone agreed upon. That is a rule that I thought everyone understood. But for some reason these days, I see the youth of today running around outside, grabbing hold of little pigeons for no reason, taking them to the top of buildings and throwing them off. Are we living in a clown world? Are we living in an alternative reality? Is this a parallel universe? Did I step into the wrong realm of existence? Has something suddenly changed? I don't understand why these people think that's acceptable. Another example, it has always been a thing for as long as I can remember that when you go into a supermarket, whether it be a Tesco, a Walmart, whatever it's called in the place you are, when you go into a supermarket, you must take off your coat. And after you take off your coat, you hand it to someone who is standing there waiting for you to hand your coat to them. When you leave, you get your coat back. And when you get your coat back, there is a little surprise left in the pocket for you. Now, it could be a nice surprise like a little gummy bear, or it could be an awful surprise like a snotty handkerchief. You would never know. It was a lucky dip, so to speak. But for some reason, for the last 6 months or so, when I go into supermarkets, I no longer see a person standing there ready for me to hand my coat off. Nor do I see anyone else even looking for someone to hand the coat off to. This is a problem, folks. Our traditions are falling apart. They are going away. The world is changing, and not in a good way. I don't like it. A third example is cyclists on the road. It used to be good etiquette for when a cyclist would come past a pedestrian that the pedestrian would give them a shove so that they'd go flying onto the road and hopefully get hit by a car. I don't see that happening anymore. For some reason, anyone who does that is being prosecuted and sent to prison. That's apparently a crime now. In the past, only 6 months ago, the laws of cheese and mustard dictated that was perfectly acceptable, that was a fine thing to do. In fact, if you did so, you would be applauded as a good member of society. I don't know when these things began to change. I don't know why they've begun to change. I don't get it, and I don't like it. The laws of cheese and mustard must be upheld. I don't like when they're not upheld. I'm not even the biggest fan of cheese, nor am I a huge fan of mustard, but the laws of cheese and mustard are absolute. So folks, I must urge you, write a letter to your local representative, get marching on your government buildings, start demanding that they uphold the laws of cheese and mustard.